Wow, it's the end of the day. Okay, so I will confess the reason why I came here is because I want to talk to Wanda. Yeah, because I had to rearrange my schedule. But I'm glad to see you all here, and I like sharing, and this whole thing is on leadership. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you what I'm doing and what qualities of leadership are necessary to make that happen. Okay, so number one, if the leader is just going to talk and talk and talk, just go to sleep. No? Because if you all want to be leaders, I feel that the quality of a good leader is the ability to make things happen. So I'm going to talk about that quality in the purview of what I'm doing right now. Since I can't work for government and I can't work for the private sector for 1 year, that's the law, I started my own organization called I Love. Okay, and I want to share with you, okay, this is another quality of a good leader, one that feels. If you can't feel for others, if you can't feel the pain of others, just go to sleep also. In the Philippines today, the parts of the country that really benefit are Metro Manila, Calabar Zone. This is data that comes from Ed Morato, who is the founder of the entrepreneurship program in Ateneo, and he wrote a book, so these are excerpts from his book, where he says Metro Manila, Calabar Zone, Central Luzon, Cebu, and Davao, they're the ones brimming with wealth and plenty. And the rest of the country suffers. I really think that the poverty in Mindanao is the reason for the disturbance there. All right, so if you look at all the data, you will see ARRM, 40% poverty. Caraga, 30%. I mean, go figure. All right, if you look at this, if you look at the Philippines, while the GDP increases, unlike other countries, when the GDP and everything increases, the poverty decreases. Not in the Philippines. Not in the Philippines, and that's the reality. Look at that. Our farmers, over the years, continue to be poor. Our fishermen continue to be poor, and our children remain underprivileged. It's not good at all. This is why I have now started this organization called I Love, to address this, to address the plight of our farmers and fishermen, and the fact that only Metro Manila and places of the country develop, because the reality is GDP alone is not an index of economic growth. If our people don't benefit, it just doesn't work, man. Okay, so I feel that the way to bring, in fact, I would say that the index of economic growth is not GDP, it's social justice. It's if our people benefit. And the way to bring that on is area development. It's taking an area and developing the area for the people of that area. That's why I don't like mining at all. Because you kill our rivers and streams. And for what? Wherever there's mining, the poverty level is higher than the national average. It's just not good at all. And 95% of the money they earn, and they never disputed that number, 95% of the money they earn goes out of the local economy, and then the people stay poor. How will we ever get out of poverty if the government allows this? So I really love Duterte, because he's really he has this thing with the poor. Okay, so area development. And that's why I came to talk to Wanda. Is she still there? Okay. Is she still there? Okay. Because I love tourism, okay? Tourism is actually the most inclusive thing. I'll show you later why I feel that way. Right? I love investments in loving organizations for village economies. Investments in loving organizations for village economies, which means you put money on the ground and let the people there benefit. I actually don't like the tourism of Boracay. You know how much money is floating around Boracay? You know how much? 20 billion. 20 billion pesos. But the people, the original settlers of Boracay, where are they? They're somewhere in the mountains. They're called culottes. You know, that kind of tourism is not good at all. You know, or I go to this island where the tourism is really high and they're making lots of money, and then I ask the banquero there who brings me there, "Makano bang sweldo mo?" And then he tells me, Ma'am, 6,000 pesos. 6,000 pesos? Eh, ilan taon ka na ba dito? Ma'am, 18 years. 18 years, 6,000 pesos. Siguro naman pinapakain ka. Hindi, ma'am. Yung taga Manila lang pinapakain. Now, if you're gonna charge me 15,000 pesos every 2 nights, and someone that works for you, you pay, for 18 years, you pay him 6,000 pesos, you don't even feed him? That's no hardness at all. That's not love. So everything as a leader and everything that you has to be with some significant sense of compassion. And not that I'm saying men don't have compassion, but I think women have that as a unique, not unique, as a significant quality trait. All right, so love. Love is a commitment to integrity, a commitment to, from my point of view, if you can't be honest, then you don't call it love, okay? If you're gonna be a leader and you say you love and you can't be honest, then that's not love at all, okay? If you kill what God has given you, that can never be love. If you can't work together, that's not love. If I believe in business because I come from a business family, but I believe in compassionate entrepreneurship. Means it can't just be about the money. It's got to be pay it forward. So all of these things, I would say, are qualities of a good leader. Yeah, one that encourages people to work together, does business with decency, takes care of the environment, and is non-negotiably honest. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly samples of Wanda Luco, Gubat Sorsogon. Okay, we put in surfboards. You know, the Philippines is so beautiful. It's not a little beautiful. It's like sobrang beautiful. Wanda, you know, I was in Singapore last week. Do you know, Singapore had nothing. It's just land, and then they planted plants and flowers and made it really beautiful. You know, the tourism income of Singapore, I mean, you know how many tourists go to Singapore yearly? Do you know how many? 60 million. 60 million. We're already escalating at 6 million, and Wanda has great plans. But I mean, this land with nothing gets 60 million, and we have 7,000 amazing, glorious, beautiful islands. We should be somewhere near the top. Oh, so we're going to do it with Wanda in charge. Okay, so this is what I want to show you, Wanda. Look, huh? Surfboards, boat refurbishing, beach tents, multi-purpose hall, new toilet and wash of it. Just had a surf, okay, and a commitment to values. That's the key. Without a commitment to values, nothing worse, just go to sleep. You know why? Because if they're just about the money, if it's just about the money, when the money comes, they will fight. I've learned this the hard way. If there's no commitment to values, then when nobody's looking, someone will pocket the money. It is the key to growth. It's the key to growth. Okay, so here, we put up stand-up paddle boats, kayaks, first aid kits, and trainings. Look at the money. I put in 1.5. I got this from EDC, Energy Development Corporation, which belongs to the family. I put in 1.5. Look what happened in 1 year. They hit 5.9 million. Commitment to values, but look at the money. It's good. The net income, net income is 1.7, and the impact to salaries is 2 million. The jobs generated is 80. That's where we stand now, and in fact, I'm inviting you all to go there after Mayon volcano finishes erupting. Okay. Wanda Luco, like after, that's over. This is plus. Lola Sayong Surf Camp, so it's helped agriculture and fisheries, helped transportation, helped tourism, helped t-shirts, souvenir programs, handicraft, helped massage. Over, that's 6 million. And then what happens also, it had a spillover effect because now a lot of people go there, just to go there. And when you're there, they'll say, oh, ano pang gagawin dito? Or then we'll go to Bulusan, we'll go to Matnog. It's kicked ass the entire area. Okay, look at this. So what do we want to do next? Just to give you an idea, we want to do this. So this is another thing for a good woman leader. Have a vision. Wow, we can do this, we can do that, dream. And make the dream visual. Because in the Philippines, it has to be visual. If it's just intellectual, it doesn't go. Okay, so what here, we put visuals. Mangrove boardwalk. Yeah, visitor center. Mangrove nursery. Then aquaculture. Processing, food processing. And then this is my staff's idea. She wanted to make their own shampoo or make her own conditioner and trainings. Okay, so all of this, what we want to do after is help 48, what I'm going to propose is it's going to help 48 members of the Fisherfolk Association, the farmers and fishermen who will provide for increased tourists, 150 public utility drivers, 48 members of the Fishermen Association, and spillover effect to the other sites. Accommodation, restaurants, cleaner coastline, and we tell them if they don't go to school, they don't serve. So, no school, no serve. 40 women from the Eco Youth Club, tourist guides, massage, really, banat. Because right now the country is driven by OFW money, $30 billion. But what does that do? You're getting money from OFW, you're killing the social fabric of the country. Women and mothers and fathers are not growing up with their children. Is that really the way we want to earn money? Okay, and then we have BPO, service. But is that replicator effect? We should do tourism. Look at this. You do this, you have the farmers, the fishermen, the transportation. It's over, plus. And on top of that, that's what we have. Singapore is one landlocked country. We're 7,000 islands, and you have no idea how beautiful the islands are. Spectacular. It just needs access. It needs marketing. And that's what I'm going to do with Wanda. No? Okay. Because she's good. So look at this, all of that, where I wanted to have 48 fishermen, 150 utility. How much are we asking for? 2.7. That's nothing. 2.7 to all of that. And also, of course, the airtime is free, Wanda, the airtime is free. Okay. Because starting February, which is next, February 11, I'm going to have my own show. G Diaries is going to be on prime time before ASAP. Once a month. G Diaries. And we have a G squad made of all the baguettes, the Filipino boy band. Oh my God, they're so cute. And then our first thing is on, who's the son of Piolo, Inigo? And Maris, that's the love interest. So that's the first, in Samar.
You want some beer?
So anyway, I'm going to have this show, and what I want to do there is show community transformation. Okay? Because all it lacks is marketing. The Philippines is magnificently beautiful. It just needs marketing. So please, on this summer, can you please save your money already? Because I'm going to show you a telephone number, and I will travel around with you. Yeah. Okay. So just quickly, do I still have time? Okay, so I'm going to show you another one. This is Bohatan River Cruise, where the place is really, really, really beautiful. Like gorgeous river, for me, even nicer than the one in Bohol. Yeah, and then what we did is we put up floating rafts. Look how beautiful it is. That costed me only 58,000. And then floating restaurant, solar panels, training. I put in okay. What happened, Selena? I put in 770,000, they make 3.7. It's the way to go, tourism. You know how that happens? Because God has spent so much time and energy. I don't know if he spent a lot of energy, but like he really gave us so much. He gave that river with the Sorsogon eagle. All we have to do is take care of it. And yet the people there are so poor. And now people go there just to go there. Okay, 3.7 and so on and so forth, and 45 jobs generated. Okay. How come, darling? Okay, so again, that helps the fisheries, transportation, and the same thing. Okay, so what do we want to do after? We want to improve the visitor center. We want to put massage in the river so that people can enjoy the river. And then we want to beef up aquaculture and agriculture, and the same thing, they make their own products. Yes, and we will help 24 members of the farmers, like the same thing, 150 utility drivers, so on and so forth. We're looking for 2.8. It's not much at all given the impact. We want to create economic zones because that's the way to go, because that's also our strength. Okay, next. Okay, this is the last one I want to show you because this one is one of our most spectacular. This is Palawan. This is an 18 million year rock formation, and the people there were really poor. Okay, but the place was really beautiful. So we put in only 250,000 pesos and then another 800,000. 60% goes to salaries and 40% is for savings. With the forced savings, they did all of that. They put up their own clinic, sari-sari store, visitor center, all of that. From 30 families, it became 300. Okay, on the first year, 133,000. Next year, 611. Next year, 7 million. My God, right? Next year, 12, 22, 29, and to be really honest, it went down 24 and 21 because really money is the source of something. No? Like when a lot of money comes, you start fighting. And that's where we learn that values isn't a one-shot deal. It's like every week, every day, you got to ingrain the values no matter what. So that's where we learned our lesson. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you have a place which is spectacularly beautiful, like magnificently beautiful, but the people there are not so good. I mean, they're good, but not very good. You need the change agent. It's not the money and the place, it's the person. Okay, or you have a place which is beautiful, which is beautiful, but not as beautiful as the first one. But there, the people there are really inspired and passionate and dynamic. Which place do you think will make a bigger difference? The first or the second? See, it's the second. It is the person that makes the difference. So that's what we're looking for. Love partners. Yeah, love partners that will take care of the air. So this is the idea that came from our PR team in ABS. What's your big love idea? Yes. And the search for the best I love community, which means the projects I have here are doing well because I had superbly good partners on the ground. They're the reason why it was successful. If you know of La Mesa has reached the gold standard of the United Nations, so declared, of reforestation in the country. You know why? I have amazing people there. They work with their hearts. They've been threatened. There's been killing. There's been whatnot. But they went to it because they're not there because it's a job. They're there because they love what they're doing and they believe in what they're doing. That's the key. So, Wanda, I was thinking that if we have if we have an award thing where you look for the person, and that's also why I'm here, because you never know who's listening here, you know. I might have a good love partner here who has a great big idea. What you don't have is money. Yeah? So some people are great, they're enthusiastic, they want to do this, they want to do that, they just don't have the money. So that's where the contest is. You make a pitch, you have a place which you think is really gorgeously, magnificently beautiful, and you know that if you develop it, you can get that place out of poverty. If we can do it here, then so can you. So you make a pitch. Yeah? So like it's what's your big love idea, out of the box idea. Next slide. Okay, of the dreaming, building Pilipinas, where you want to transform ideas. Where does everything start? From an idea. Then you want to transmit that idea to reality. So, but you have the will and the passion. You just need a little bit of help. Okay, next slide. Next slide, darling. And then we, okay, so this is what we were thinking. Here, we'll have a contest, and then there'll be a pitch from all over, and you guys can make a pitch. And then we choose the top 10. The top 10. And then we award the heads with 100,000, the ones who make it to the pitch, 100,000 pesos. And then what we're thinking of is 5 million pesos, but non-cash. Terms of assistance. Like DOT can give in terms of training or whatever, then DA and DTI and DOST, I'm organizing everything. And then, so we will make it. Then, The top 10 or the top 8, you want to say 8 months, 8 people, 8 judges. Okay, and then each community, each of you will be given a mentor, like Ilak Diaz or Dylan Witt, you know, who of human nature, to make it happen, And then on February, on Valentine's, the year after, then we show what you're doing all the time on TV, because I have a show, no? And then we give an award. And the key thing there is that I want to be like Costa Rica. You know, Costa Rica has what? There's no mining in Costa Rica. There's almost zero poverty there. They don't even have military. I think 97% of Costa Rica are professionals that do something. The only people who are poor there are the migrant workers. But every single person in Costa Rica lives and breathes the environment. And I feel that's where we should go with this country. A race of environmental consciousness, a race of value consciousness, and I'm hoping that this will do it. In the very least, the models will say, pwede pala at kayang-kaya natin. It's just a no, but do you like the idea? Do you like it? Do you like it really, or you're just making sip-sip there? Okay, so I'm closing. This is an idea that we called it the green boardroom. Okay, in closing, since this was supposed to be on leadership, I want to share with you ideas which are very important for leadership. Number 1, health and wellness. You can't be a good leader if you eat whatever you want. It's not good at all. You have to take care of your health. Like I had cancer last year, you know, and you think I did chemo, radiation? Nothing, because as far as I'm concerned, that was just a piece of paper. So I did what I want. I did turmeric, guyabano, lemongrass. Was it 6 to 8 months? Well, I'm okay na, no? It just operates on fear. I don't believe in chemo and radiation. I stayed away from sugar. I ate really alkaline food, and I'm well. Okay? You have to eat well and stop eating white sugar and don't eat a lot of white rice at night. You have to eat well and you have to sleep well. If you sleep thinking of your problems and you're so angry with someone and you're going to sleep like that, you can sleep 10 hours, it's not going to be good sleep. It's not a good way. You have to sleep well. You have to live well. Number 2, you need a rhythm in life. You cannot just do what you want. Like for example, I meditate every morning. I just don't leave the house. Even tomorrow, I have to leave the house at 5 in the morning. I'm going to wake up at 2:30 just to meditate. It's a commitment because I have seen the difference in my life when I meditate. It's a connection with God, and God gives me the energy to do what I want. Then you keep it aligned. Why are you doing what you do, you know? When I was in DENR, I sat with someone every day just to keep myself sane, to make sure that I'm always going on the right path, because politics is a little bit crazy. I'm glad, Wanda, you're still surviving. Okay. Now, 3. Let it go, man. Let it go. You know, life is what it is. People are imperfect. Situations are imperfect. If you're going to think about it and brood about it, you're going to get yourself, I mean, it's a path to nowhere land. Just let it go. Let it go. I'd sing, but you make my train. Let it go. Keep things positive. Take the higher route. And in that higher route, your ideas will come. Like some of my greatest ideas come during meditation. Sometimes when I'm walking in silence, oh my God, why don't I do this? But if you're thinking negativity all the time, there's no space in your mind to have high, noble ideas because you're always angry with someone. Just let it go. And then something will come, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? It takes up space. You only have one brain. No? And if you engage your brain in things which are negative, then the positive things won't come in. Okay. Next, stick to having a non-negotiable stand on principles. That's the key. It's just not worth it doing anything. Like when I was in DENR, truth, service, and the common good. That's it, period, exclamation point. I wasn't going to do anything which wasn't, because I have to live with myself. You're gonna sacrifice that to achieve something outside. I have to live with myself. Okay, next is have the guts to make it happen. Have the guts. Okay, so in closing, Since this is nearing the end, I'm going to ask you all to sing. Are you ready? Okay, first you should understand what we're singing. There are miracles in life. You each and every one of you want to achieve something, correct? Okay, you know where it begins? Do you know where it begins? Inside. The anything great you want to do doesn't start with the money. It begins inside. It's not the money that makes a difference. I had 26 billion pesos in DNR. It's not the money that makes a difference. You know what makes a difference? It's the heart. It's the heart. It's where you're coming from. It's where you're coming from which connects you to people. I've started all of my projects without any money. It's the dream that brings in the money. Have a dream. Have a dream. Keep it noble and commit to integrity and the money will come. So where does it come? In here. Okay. This is my closing gift to you. If you feel small, you will do small, you will dream small, you will do small. Are you small? No. Why? Big. Good answer. Because God, who said that? Are you really big? You're not big, no? Because God is inside of you. There is a God that exists. He's not in a building, and He's not in a book. He is a magnificent presence, and that presence is in your heart, and that presence is love. And because of that presence, you can do anything. Anything. You can be anything. Because that presence is with you. Are you small? No. Why? Because God is with you and He loves you. And if you do anything ascribing to His values, He will keep you sane and He will help you grow. Okay, I love you all. Thank you very, very much.